Hello, class. I just wanted to walk you through a couple of things from Act 2. I'm going to briefly recap what you read over break and then also get into what you're reading today in scenes 5 and 6 of Act 2. So, going back to what you read during break, Act 2, Scene 3, this is right after Romeo leaves Juliet's house. Um, and he goes straight to Friar Lawrence's. His friend, one of the priests in the community, um, and he's basically looking for someone to marry him and Juliet. So remember that they agreed that they're going to get married, like first thing in the morning, and he obviously needs someone to officiate that. So he goes to Friar Lawrence. He thinks this is a bad idea. He's still under the impression that Juliet or that Romeo is in love with Rosalind, so he's really confused. But Romeo kind of presses him enough and annoys him enough that eventually he says yes. Now we get into scene 4, um, and Romeo's now left the friars. He's gotten the agreement from him that he'll marry them, um, and so he's on his way home. I think kind of to try and like get some sleep at this point because remember he's been awake literally all night at the party, then Juliet's balcony, and then talking to the friar. Um, at that point, he runs into his friends. They're kind of ribbing on him. They're making fun of him because he ditched them. They assume that he went back to talk to Rosalind, um, and he hasn't told them about Juliet yet. So literally nobody knows that he's in love with her and that he's going to get married. And then at the end of scene 4, we're still in scene 4 for a second here. The nurse actually walks through, um, and Romeo's friends are like, "Oh, here's this nurse. We know that she's a Capulet. Let's pick on her and make fun of her." And Romeo actually defends her and stops her. And his friends are confused by that because obviously Romeo should be siding with them, with the Capulets picking, or with the Montagues picking on a Capulet, but he stops them because he loves Juliet, right? Now we also find out in scene 5 that the reason the nurse is walking through is that she's been going back and forth to the friar, also kind of helping arrange all the wedding plans. And that takes us to, last but not least, Act 2, Scene 6. And that's where the friar marries Romeo and Juliet in this secret ceremony. And it's done. We've now made it through 2 acts of this play. We started out, Romeo and Juliet didn't even know who each other were. All we knew was that these families didn't get along. They meet at the end of Act 1. They very, very briefly, over the course of a couple hours, uh, get to know each other and decide to get married. And that's where we end up at the end of Act 2. Pretty crazy, very fast progression in the relationship. Obviously, we've read it over the course of a couple of weeks, but just remember that if you were watching this as a play, all of this would have happened within like 30 to 40 minutes. So it all happens very fast, and we'll see some of the consequences for that as we get into Act 3. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please make sure to also complete packet page 18 along with this reading. My office hours are from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So if you have any questions, let me know and have a great day.